I want to start with you because the Knicks are playing their regulars a significant amount of time, partially because of OG Anunoby and Julius Randle. I got some info and thoughts on those two guys and their injuries, but where are you with OG and Julius, and what are you hearing? Do you think they'll be back before the end of the regular season?
I think OG's got a better chance than Julius. OG has a strange injury. We don't see elbow injuries very often in the NBA. It's not, when a player sprains his ankle, he has a history, understands his injury. There's certain recovery from a knee injury that there's protocols to go through. This elbow injury, it's a very unusual injury, so it's very hard to have a good feel for it. The thing about OG, and the Knicks knew this when they traded for him, he is a guy who likes to take his time coming back from injuries. He wants to be as close to 100% as possible. That is not secret information. The Knicks were aware of that when they signed him. They'll be aware, or when they traded for him, they'll be aware of that, I assume, when they signed him. And so that just is what it is. In the case of Julius, he's clearly stagnated. They've given no update. He's gone past the initial recovery timeline. Guys, I've been around long enough to know about shoulder injuries. Most of the time on a shoulder injury, you have to have surgery. And when you can gut through it, you are susceptible to re-injury on that shoulder. So in all honesty, that was a really upsetting injury for the Knicks. I know that it seemed like it was good news initially when they said he didn't need surgery, but the way they framed the reporting of the injury, it was actually kind of shaky because they made it clear he was going to be reevaluated. And so even if he's able to play, you're going to be worried about re-injury. That is just the nature of this injury. And like I said, most people with this injury eventually have to have surgery. And that's just the unfortunate truth.
The labrum is a significant part of this injury, I was told. So the issue is getting Randle to a place where the medical staff and he are comfortable that he can be on the court and make it through, right? I think everybody knows that he's going to need surgery eventually. Is it surgery in the offseason? Is he going to be unable to make it back to the court? And the idea that he's been sitting at this place where he's doing everything but being cleared for contact, that's worried a bunch of people. We noted it a few weeks ago, and it's still been the case here where everybody's kind of waiting on pins and needles for him to get cleared for that full contact. If you know Julius Randle, he's going to want to play. I think the medical staff has been very careful here with this one, with actually getting him back on the floor. I do think there were some people who felt, way back that he should have gone and had surgery right when it happened, and then maybe he's back at this point, or he's back a couple weeks from now at the beginning of the postseason. That didn't happen, and here we are with Randle just waiting. And with OG Anunoby, similar situation in terms of the waiting game, but he had the surgery, right? And the Knicks and OG felt really good about that decision. He came back. He looked very good in his first game back. He hurt himself the next game back on a pretty standard basketball play. So I think the thing there is, how do you get him to a place where he does not re-aggravate that injury on a pretty standard basketball play where his arm kind of got jammed up? And so there's shooting, there's defense, there's so many different things with the elbow. It's about trying to get the inflammation down. And I've been told even once you get that inflammation down with OG Anunoby, there's still going to be tests to clear, hurdles to clear from a medical team standpoint before he gets clearance to get on the floor. So I think we're still days away at least from an OG Anunoby return, and Randle. It's just anyone's guess at this point. Tom Thibodeau told reporters last night in Miami that he's just going to keep working at it, Julius that is, and it'll turn. Maybe it'll turn. Hopefully it'll turn. Maybe it'll turn tomorrow. Maybe it'll turn in a few days, but they just don't know. It's just up in the air, and it's about clearance from the medical staff on both guys. So big issues hanging over the heads of this team.